Welcome back, viewers, to the morning show on Tobago Updates. As I said, I'm your host, Adanna Combie, and we are talking with Mr. Jessie Taylor. He is the Cultural Officer 2 in the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. And this morning, we are talking about the Tobago Heritage Festival and its launch tomorrow. Of course, some of the events have already begun. You might have seen on social media some of the interaction with some of the primary schools and stuff like that. And I think they're doing a beautiful thing there over Tourism Division. And we just want to hear more about it and what we can expect for our Heritage Festival 2023.
Yes, certainly. Good morning, all of Tobago, to all my colleagues, to the division and Trinidad and Tobago by extension. Thank you for having me. Well, we have begun. We are ready, we are set, and should say we are going. So we have concluded the Tobago Junior Heritage Caravan, which saw us putting things into 8 of the primary schools. It was fantastic, to say the least. The energy, the willingness of the children to really want to learn. And it emphasizes what some of our mission statement has been, and our goals and objectives, as how we align the product for the transference of our knowledge to those children who are really the cradle stage and the bedrock eventually of our expression. So we have done that, and we are getting ready to do a lot of other stuff.
Right, and it's very important for the posterity of anything to continue with education and educating
Certainly.
for the legacy and the continuation of our heritage festival, what is indigenous to Tobago. So I like that was taken into the primary schools. I like that there was an educational part of it, and I like the reception about it. So what is happening? I know there's a launch tomorrow. What is happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow we go to the Scarborough Library at 4 p.m. and we will be having what is called Heritage Telele. Now, Telele is just about stopping and showcasing. I mean, this immortal song says, the old lady walk a mile, full of energy, full of exuberance, full of pride. That woman who is the inculcation of all our what we manifest and what we have brought with us. So tomorrow, and it's aligned to the fact that we have the stylized woman in the concept of the logo of the woman. She becomes more beautiful. So we start tomorrow with putting together all those things that are beautiful. Our heritage queens, those people who are the griot of our language, who sing the calypso, they would also be there. So there'll be a right up in the face is a kind of circular marketing strategy where we put the brand and really invest in the quality of what we do and the durability, to say the least. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. we'll hear the going back to the way we used to do it, as we pay homage and to all of we, and who all of we be, you will see it manifest itself. We'll have prospective sponsors, embrace committee sponsors. We'll have the authentic music, the dances, the performances to blend in. Of course, we'll have an address from the Honorable Assistant Secretary Megan Morrison, who has responsibility for culture and antiquities in the division.
Right, and you mentioned the logo. Since I'm a child coming up, the logo, it says she becomes more beautiful.
And evidently so.
Yes, and we're looking forward to this year to see how she becomes more beautiful this year. So what's new?
We've used so much different things. So we have, I said, we had the Junior Heritage, and now we have we're getting ready to do the launch tomorrow, and right out of that, the beauty is almost unfolding from tomorrow. Well, continues to unfold from tomorrow, and then we actually go into our heritage on the road, where we take the heritage to the people. The statement is, if Muhammad can't go to the mountain, then the mountain. So we are taking a mountain. The way we used to do it, the only way we know how, and we are coming to various spaces as a surprise. We are doing several of the divisions, and then we have other strategic placement that's really is designed to create nostalgia, to create shape the interest, and to bring back a sense of pride as we come post-COVID. We are celebrating all those things and all those people who have been a part of this magnificent and worthwhile journey.
Yes, and you said something post-COVID, because the interaction now, the
Yes.
community interaction now is something that people, we missed,
Really.
you know, and it's something we look forward to this year, as you say,
Certainly.
moving into the communities, and you're doing your road shows and
Precisely,
all your rollout
precisely.
programs.
So we're able to be a little more up close, and you know, the way our traditions have always been, as the saying, what it takes to village to raise the child. So we are close family, and because we've been ruled so many times and have changed hands so many times, there's a sense of closeness that is somewhat kind of almost sacred, because it's almost aligned to, I can't do it without you and you can't do it without me. So that is why all of we and who all of we be is so important this year as we pay homage. We want to really say to who have been before us, as we seek to honor, because that's what some of the three peg lines are, the words are, we honor, we pause and we celebrate, and we seek to inspire. Because what are we without the retention and the bedrock, the platform rather, for our placement of that which we have inherited and have come through such a bitter period of colonial rule, and now onto glorious emancipation and the long walk we've had to freedom. It should be celebrated with pride.
Yes, I like those three words you just used, but I want to go back to a phrase you used. You said, all are we and who we be.
Yes,
say it again for me now. I like the
all
dialect.
All are we and who all are we be. And it's just what we are. Our language, our food, our craft, our art, that passion, that thing that drives us to, is larger than money. And that's why I keep talking about the circular economy and the branding of that, and how we use position, what the key product is, this legacy. In this case, the Tobago Festival, Heritage Festival, which really is an umbrella for all the other things. But we have so many other aspects. We have the natural treasures in Charlottesville. We still have what is displayed, the old-time reenactment of that 19th century wedding in Mariah. And then we also could go over and do the Juve in Plymouth. So and then we still do the emancipation walk, and we could still invite the ancestors and chant and dance and sing, and still go to Lekito and hear about the Obia and the pot and how to do the sweat rice. And then so there's so much folk tales and so much legend, and it's so much like a potpourri of who we have become and emerge into this wonderful people of doing just 36 years. We are so proud to be the people we have. I'm so glad to be able to share that and be a part of its manifestation.
Listen, the Tobago culture is so rich. It is so rich, and the way that you are passionate about it is making me excited.
But I hope
you
so.
know, it's
I'm
making
passionate
me really,
about
yes.
what we do, because I really find that we are so well poised, unique. We have the bounty of the land, we have our flora, we have our fauna, and then we have what I prescribe and always refer to as our greatest resource, which is our human resource, and then that's occasioned by our capital. But yet still we are able to find that balance, and it's almost as though you return to the old days of grandeur. And I often say, bring back the old time days. Yes, he said it, Andrea Tanker, that we know things must change, but we still love.
Of course,
at
the end of at the end of the day, because that's our foundation, right? The old time, that is the bedrock of who we are.
Yes.
So remind me of those three words, the three pillars that you use.
Yes, so we honor, and we honor all those, because we have lost quite a few of our gems, some of our stalwarts, those icons, those cultural icons who have really paved the way, even from some of the people who were instrumental in starting this journey from its conception in 1987. Now here we are, we honor, we pause and we honor. And then we celebrate the richness of and the vitality and the contributions of those who we now have with us, and so privileged to have with us. We celebrate the works and what they do. And of course, we seek to inspire, because we believe that in the inspiring, we are literally saying, here is our future, take it, preserve it, practice it, but preserve it. Because what I keep saying, without retention.
Yes, certainly, because, the new generation, the young generation.
Precisely, and that's why I keep saying retention.
Yes, because, the thing is that we adapt so much of everything else.
Yes.
So it's important to bring us back to where we came from and to understand our roots.
People without a culture.
That's right.
People without a culture is like Christian Herbert said, is a people without a soul. So we want to ensure we keep our soul. We preserve the essence of our folk traditions, the story of Gang and Sarah, the Sukia, that woman who flies in the night, the Dwayne who takes the children away. And then if we align them, a lot of the things that we now see facing us, if we align them to things that were said in old fables and riddles, we can really find the platform to encourage the dissuading of people and children and youths who end up in areas that are considered social disorders.
Wow, this is a lot, a lot. And our viewers online, I want to welcome you to the program this morning. And I want you to type in the chat which events for this season you are most looking forward to. Because there's so many. And as a child growing up, I used to dance when I was much younger, under Auntie Cheryl, Auntie Annette,
and those people who have done, like I say, who have really been amongst those starters, who still today, even if they are not as on stage, but they are very much present and very much vital, essential, and pertinent to what we now have, and it's proud to celebrate.
Right. Listen. This interview is going so beautiful, eh? Whenever you see Jessie or you hear about Jessie, you know that there's something theatrical or dramatic.
So we're getting ready to stage tomorrow.
Yes.
We also have this afternoon, because we have put into place, in the absence of what have normally been the folk fiesta, we have what is known, what we have dubbed, Come Talk Your Talk and Show Me Emotion. So we have auditions this evening at the Scarborough Library from 5 to 7. It's an open call, and we have some committed sponsors. We're still looking, of course, for prospective sponsors to come forward, but we are having a talent display. You could just come and talk your talk, be it oral, because we are seeing the dying art of the wedding speech people and the people who normally have done the christening speech and the funeral speeches, and how that exaggeration of words that you would have normally hear when somebody's child would have been christened. We're missing the oral part of it. The value of the speech band cannot be undervalued. We cannot leave that alone. And then, of course, we look at how we pay homage and how we retain our African heritage and the legacy, our Caribbean Afro folk dances, our bongo and wake traditions, the games we used to play. So this evening is a good opportunity. I invite all of you up to Tobago to come out. We have an onslaught of people who have already committed, and so we are there to do the first audition, and we look at the final phase on the 7th of July. So you see, I'm saying to you, there's a lot of fringe things happening, and then we're moving to what is the 21st, which is the crowning of Miss Tobago Heritage Personality and the Tobago Heritage Monarch. 2 for the price of 1.
Right. Okay, so they both combined. Good.
Yes.
While you were going on there, you were talking about the different phrases that we used to use, and I'm going to tell you guys one now. It fills me with philanthropic joy
and jubilation.
Yes. To be
and that's just it. Those words that are part of the language that is very much widely respected, but not often enough propagated and done. So we do have that. And then what it really does, it teaches our young people how to write and how to be able to concoct their own stories and be the author of their own destiny. So it's also a career path, because you're also able to learn about costuming and to design. We have so many innovators, so it should not just be about carnival, because I'm strongly opposed to our culture just being seasonal and
yes.
just about it being about it's done, pack up and see you next year. And that we really, in this phase, what we are hoping to get, and this is some of the things the Assistant Secretary and the division is positioned highly on the list of things we do, is how do we continue to see the growth of the cultural product, because it affects the cruise ship and the people who come into our shows. What do they do on an average night or week when there's nothing else planned?
And that is a topic for another discussion, Mr. Taylor, as I said, it filled me with philanthropic joy and jubilation to have had this conversation with you and to hear the passion. And I do hope we're able to, as you said in the roundup there, to get this as part of our curriculum now in schools.
I would hope so.
You understand?
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end our interview with Mr. Taylor. If you have not heard it, Tobago Heritage Festival is launching tomorrow.
It's alive and well. It's not dead, and so there'll be no wake, there'll be no bubble. It'll just be
I love it. I love it. I love it.
expressions of what we have.
Thank you so much for being here on our program
My
this
pleasure.
morning. Thank you, viewers, for staying with us and interacting with us on the live. And we are going to go to a break before we come back. And what do we want you to do? Of course, share the live, share the live,
Share the live. I've got to so accustomed to that.